What's up, Juventini? It is Juve's 127th birthday, so happy birthday to the best damn club in the world, alright? And what a gift a Scudetto would be. Motta still believes in that Scudetto. Well, November will be critical on multiple fronts, and we're going to take a look at what lies ahead for Juventus. We've got injury reports on Nico Gonzalez and Douglas Luiz. We have a club legend that is set to potentially be sacked. We'll go through all of this, and then, of course, the man himself, Motta, who is facing some heat where Juve currently finds himself in the table. He gives his presser ahead of our next match against Udinese. I'm Berto, this is the AJ's here channel dedicated to Juventus. It's November 1st. Let's rock with the news. And again, as we stated, Juve's 127th birthday, alright? So we celebrate this club and the many legends that have donned the black and white stripes. But one of those legends potentially set to be sacked? Paulo Montero is apparently in jeopardy of being sacked by Juventus next gen. There are apparently 3 candidates the club is currently looking at, and this could go down very, very soon, according to Nico Schira. This would suck because of all the emotions that most of us fans hold for Paulo Montero. However, it is the nature of the business, all right? So we keep tabs on that one. Now we go into November, and as stated, Motta had some strong words during his press conference we will get to, but November is critical for Juventus. They find themselves currently in 6th place on 18 points, okay? And we've got, in the month of November, Udinese, Lille in Champions League, the Derby della Mola, an international break, and then Milan, and of course Aston Villa. This is critical for Juventus. Out of those 3 Serie A matches, a minimum would have to be 7 points for Juventus to pull out of there. They absolutely cannot drop any one of these games, and you could probably only afford 1 draw. As far as Champions League, well, it is being reported that Juve is banking on reaching the round of 16 for the financial gain that comes with it, and that they're actually factoring that in for their books. That, for me, is extremely risky business. And right now, as I said on the last post-match podcast, we have to look domestically first. You absolutely have to start racking up the points in Serie A. Champions League, to bank on anything out of that is crazy at this moment in time, all right? So again, the remaining fixtures in Champions League are difficult, and these 2 in the month of November will be challenging with Lille and Aston Villa. However, this is where we stand. A critical month of November for both League and Champions League. Let's see. It all kicks off tomorrow against Udinese, and we will continue to be without Douglas Luiz, but it's expected he could be in the squad list for that match against Lille midweek in Champions League. Nico Gonzalez, absolutely zero certainty on his return. Apparently, they're hoping to get him back for the Derby della Mola against Torino. However, it is still a possibility he could be back after the international break. This is becoming excessive with Nico Gonzalez, all right? We have to get some of these guys back and help offer rest for some of the other players, all right? In terms of the cavalry, well, we know some of the names that are listed, but it is definitely in the defense and a Vice Vlahovic. But one of the names picking up a lot of steam as of late is Radu Dragusin. Dragusin could potentially be the player that comes in January. And the way I look at it, we don't need 1 defender. We need 2. And that definitely has everything to do with Danilo. Danilo has been a nightmare. To not even over-exaggerate, it has been a nightmare. He simply does not suit Motta's style of play. He doesn't have the legs to play with that high defensive line. Now, the reports today suggest Motta and Danilo have not had their relationship start off the best, and that there was rocky periods there already. I'm not buying it. If that was the case, if you had a rocky relationship with the player, you're telling me that you're going to play around with points All points are critical in Serie A for this Juventus side. You're going to play around with points and take risks like that when he is struggling, to say the least, and put it lightly there. He is struggling and you continuously start him match after match after match, and now you're trying to tell me, Gazzetta, that there's issues with the relationship. I'm not buying it. Motta needs to stop messing around with the points, and I understand you got to offer guys rest. Utilize Cabal. You said it yourself. He could play as a center back. Motta, one way or another, has to sort it out. But Danilo's future in January still looks like it is away from Juventus. And now we got to get to the man himself, Motta, who is facing some heat with Juve, finding themselves in 6th place despite being undefeated in Serie A. 4 wins, 6 draws, but the issue is 4 of those draws coming at home and not being able to see these points through. And not only that, but starting to really leak at the back and allow a lot of goals, and continuously going with a questionable decision of Danilo at the back through these struggles. Motta is facing some heat. His presser, he says, first off, in regards to the birthday of the club, he is honored to be part of this club's history. He says the team is fine and focused. He says that as a collective, we need to be better defensively. Absolutely. It's a lot of straightforward comments here, but what's interesting is he does ring the bell for Vlahovic, saying that Vlahovic has to be decisive no matter how many touches. He continues, we're evaluating whether or not Vlahovic is a starter tomorrow against Udinese, all right? So maybe Vlahovic does not start the match. He says we need results and need to climb the standings. Absolutely, all right? Udinese is strong and physical. We will be without Luis, without Nico Gonzalez. Cope Miners is not yet 100%. But, he says, I still believe in the Scudetto. Well, I'm not going to give up faith completely. Anything can happen, but you gotta start hitting the 3 points, all right? And it has to start tomorrow. As mentioned, November, critical. We need minimum 7 points out of these 3 games. Getting 9 would be sublime, but you absolutely gotta stop and get off these draws, okay? What do you guys think about that? Do you still believe in the Scudetto? Let me know in the comments, all right? But don't forget to like the video, subscribe, join our AJC army, all right? And join us tomorrow live as we get hyped up for the game against Udinese. And yes, there will be a live watch along. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juventus, ciao tutti.